Hello there everybody, welcome back to another MapleStory video. It's Monday, which means it's Monday Maple Musings. Finally got that right. It's the triple Microwave Monday. This is just kind of the series we do every Monday, as you can tell by the name, where we take a look at the MapleStory subreddit over the last week, and we just kind of see what people have been yapping and chatting about. And I just kind of hang out with you guys for a little bit. So if you guys aren't interested in that, no worries. Don't continue watching the video. I don't know. But if you're sticking around, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't, all that good stuff. Bigger number, better person. Yeah, let's see what's been popping on the MapleStory sub. Honestly, I don't recall seeing anything too crazy, so I think it's mostly just gonna be memes and people complaining, which is usually a good thing? Question mark? I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh yeah, and there's also this massive chart that somebody consolidated about like the 2-minute patch in a bunch of different classes. Anyways, let's start with this. Have you said thank you once? This is fucking hilarious. Because one of the CMs said, everyone say thank you, Inkwell, which is hilarious to me. I love this fucking stupid meme, man. I don't think there's anything else to read here. It's just a meme, man. Put the meme in the bag, little bro. Management of GMS exclusive content. GMS includes many pieces of original content. We plan to continue adding exclusive content for our Maplers to enjoy. This is in the thing that they just announced, like the not note, but like I don't know what you'd call it, a Maple memo? Is that what they call it? Recently, we have seen numerous unverified claims and rumors in the community suggesting that content produced by Team GMS will lack feature support or maintenance. However, we promise the content produced by Team GMS, such as Sia Estelle, will continue to be actively serviced alongside our ongoing development efforts. And it's just a picture of Jett in heaven. That's funny. Jett initial release in Net's Pyramid was peak. What was the issue with Jett again? What wasn't the issue with Jett, to be honest? Let's not pretend like the class didn't actually have significant issues. I never played the class, but I miss it. I feel like this is a lot of people. Hardly anyone played the class. But I do feel bad for people that did play the class, and also I do think just removing the class because it was too hard to fix was kind of lame. It's just such a lame cop-out. Don't get me wrong. TMS compensation for server instability. These posts are always weird to me. It's like, why are we comparing other servers' rewards for, like, downtimes or whatnot? You know what I mean? It's not like this serves any real purpose, in the sense that, like, what are we comparing this to? Are we comparing this to the additional little bonus reward that they gave us with the pink bean vac pet and the, like, 2 tickets to the sauna? Are we gonna ignore the 2 comp boxes that we also got in addition for that same issue? Like, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, we're, like, trying to measure straws. I don't know. Is the vac pet something I personally will get use out of? No. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who will get use out of it. So, even if it's not for me, it's not for me. In addition, they also didn't really have to give it to us in the first place, because the compensation boxes, the first one and the second one, were for the downtime. This additional little bonus was just because of the Maple memo. I don't know. Maybe I just have a weird way of looking at things, but I don't understand the point of, like, looking at what other servers get for their own specific issues and being like, well, I want that. Like, no shit. Would I want 5 Erta fragment selector coupons or 2 Punch King tickets? Yeah, of course I would. But I don't know what this compensation even really is for. Yeah, the post says TMS compensation for server instability, but what does that mean? I don't fucking know. That server is propped up by whales in a way that GMS players can't even fathom. This is also really funny and really true. Because TMS is the server that literally has somebody who can clear Culvert, right? I'm not making that up. I think there's somebody who can literally clear Culvert in that server. That's crazy. I don't know. I guess the core of what I'm saying is, why are we FOMOing over instability rewards or like compensation rewards? Like, yeah, is the Maple Memo reward not good? Yeah, of course it's not. But I feel like if we're just comparing that one thing to other servers' rewards, it's like, no shit, it's gonna look horrendous. If you compared both the comp boxes and the Maple Memo reward, I think it looks a little bit more even. And again, we don't even know what server instability really means. Also, it's just different regions. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I just ain't got the energy for that kind of shit, man. And then this is a very angry post, but I will read it, obviously, since it's very, very upvoted. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of people mistake my more chill vibes and energy as, like, perhaps being in defense or something, when I think for a lot of it, for me, is just, like, I think a lot of things just, you gotta pick your battles, like, in life in general, right? And for me, this is something that I still am working on to this day. Some things just aren't worth fighting for. And I try my best not to fight battles for things that truly don't matter in the big picture of, like, my life. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, MapleStory is a big part of my life, and it has been a big part of my life, you know, since I've been playing it on and off since literal childhood. But, like, certain game decisions that the developers make within the game don't affect me to the mental point of me being like, this bothers me to a point to where I'm going to, like, be actively upset about it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like I said, you gotta pick your battles. And I think for a lot of the things that people have complaints about, they're completely valid, and I agree. Like, I even agree with all this shit. 100% I do. But for me, it just seems like it's usually the same people over and over and over with these things. I just feel like maybe there's a better usage of your energy, and, like, it's probably not helping you? I don't know, man. Because I'm somebody who looks at it from, like, the perspective of, like, your own well-being. And I know if I was doing this stuff, it means I'm not doing well. But this is, like, the post. I'm just going to kind of skim over it. You guys obviously can read it. I mean, you guys could have read it while I was yapping. But basically, the post from the Maple Memo is, I'd like to start today's note by apologizing for the inconvenience caused by the issues and downtime that occurred the past weekend. We've taken the necessary steps to address the situation, working hard towards a fair solution for all our players. Thank you for understanding in this matter. So this was way back in February, I think it was. Yeah, back in Inkwell's note in February, they were already talking about fairness and downtime. Now, 6 months later, nothing has happened. The state of GMS has actually gotten worse, and both how the community is being treated and the communication. In the recent memo, you apologize over and over, but when do you learn? We don't want empty apologies. We want you to take action. Ever since Inkwell took over, we were promised better communication and cooler content, yet here we are with none of those existing. Temp badge. Pissing on players thinking you could bridge the gap from legacy content when this does nothing to the sort. Not much to add besides showing how tone-deaf Nexon North America is. Then they did the stamp season swap over. Stamp season 1, I understand that having more people working on GMS means that Nexon gives you more resources, and so you need to show where the money is. This isn't the way. Pisses people off that you introduce even worse monetization while you can't fix your game or communicate properly. Extreme downtime and exploits. Honestly, if exploits are unintentional and not malicious, people shouldn't be punished, but if you introduce something Anyone has a head start, especially something like the Magpot situation, you take the L and let everyone have it. If you think this would actually break the game, it tells everyone in the community that you really don't understand your own game, and that worries me personally. Ride or Die 2, the event has gotten 0 improvements from last time. Adding another difficulty, you've done nothing with the feedback. We left you from Ride or Die 1. What happened to the feedback? Honestly, I think the Legion pieces... Beyond the Legion pieces, I'd rather not have this event. It's a symbol of everything that's wrong with how Nexon NA currently operates. Ride or Die, obviously, I bitch about it all the time. I don't have fun doing it. I never had fun doing it, even back in the day. Back in the day, I couldn't one-burst it. Nowadays, I could probably one-burst S15, but I just don't do S15 because X exists. And while I can sort of one-burst X15, like, there's only so much you can do since you're limited to weapon secondary emblem, you know what I mean? I will say, though, I do think the small amount of iteration they did, and also introducing the X difficulty as a whole, and the balancing within the X difficulty for like a perfected weapon secondary and emblem, it doesn't feel as bad. I still would not call Ride or Die a good event, but it definitely feels better than it did the first time, but I can't tell if that's because I was weaker the first time, or it's because they actually, like, the small changes that they did make and the new difficulty they introduced actually were better. It could just be a little bit of column 1 and column 2, you know? It could be both. I don't know. Next on NA is tone deaf, don't understand their players. Either the CMs aren't doing their job or some higher executive is putting their heads in the sand. Either way, this train is going off the rails. Apologies won't get it back, actions will. So, like I said, I don't disagree. I don't know. I guess it's never a bad thing to voice complaints in like a meaningful or like a cordial way, excuse me. But ultimately, I don't think you're going to see any meaningful progress until like metrics change, right? If the player base continues to stay where it's at, the money continues to stay where it's at, or God forbid either of those metrics even go up, then they're going to be less incentivized to do things. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily saying that's the only way that companies work, but it's definitely the way that companies work the fastest. If your revenue metrics start dropping, your active users metric starts dropping, then you really start paying attention because it matters, directly impacting you. Edit update. This post got way bigger than I expected. I just needed an outlet to vent my frustration. Yeah, I mean, I totally understand. I totally get it. With how my childhood and probably most played played game is currently being managed. While the game has gotten better, mostly through QOL that comes from Korea, so it's not a win for Nexon NA in my book. Again, I get it. Totally understand. Comment on Ride or Die. I've read most comments, and yes, Ride or Die has gotten an improvement in regard to difficulty. Okay, so I'm not just imagining that. I literally did not read this. I promise you I didn't read this. Well, I mean, I clicked on the thread initially, but I don't... Look, I'm not like a super big Reddit head. Like, I just browse it throughout the day. I click on shit. I look for funny comments. You know, I do the usual. Actually reading and processing information usually only happens in these videos that I make. So it's good to see that I'm not crazy, because Ride or Die definitely does not feel as miserable as it did. It's still not good, do not get me wrong, but it doesn't feel as bad. And I do think that counts for something. It doesn't really address the real issue with the event. It's not fun. Yeah, I mean, it's not fun. 100% it's not fun. CMs need to get a better understanding of the community. Yeah, I mean, completely. I do think the community managers need to do something. Interact with community. Whatever happened in the past, I cannot speak on. It's just Nexon needs to figure something out. 100% agree. As always, Nexon has zero incentive to change anything until their revenue is impacted. 100% agree. This is what I mean. If the metrics stay the same or continue to increase, they're so much less likely to care. You know what I mean? And then I'll just briefly look at this because I've been yapping for a little while and I don't want to keep you guys too long. TLDR 2-minute patch improved overall class balance. So this is basically like a combination sheet that somebody put together of like all of the classes compared in the 2-minute patch. And you can see like the biggest winners, biggest losers, classes with the most volatility. You have the full charts here, observations from this guy. You can see, but basically the TLDR, does he have the TLDR in here? And obviously this is all based on KMS data. TLDR, where is the TLDR? Somebody said it very well. I remember reading this comment. I just don't know. Ba-da-ba-da-bum, bum, 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 bum. But basically, I remember reading. I cannot remember if it was a comment or like maybe like a note on one of the sheets. But basically, it's like. Oh, no, it's right here. Sorry, I just didn't read at the beginning. It's literally the TLDR. The FD difference between the lowest and highest ranked class decreased from 42% to 35%. The middle 50% of classes are also more tightly grouped, indicated by the FD difference between rank 12 and rank 36 dropping from 11 to 7. So basically, the gap between the strongest and the weakest is significantly, like, closed. And within the pack, like the middle of the pack, they are more tightly grouped. Which I do think is good, you know? I do think it's fucking absurd how absolutely cooked Nightwalker did get. Obviously, I have to mention Nightwalker because I've been playing, like, my Nightwalker is 290. It's my main, obviously. I do think all they really have to do to fix Nightwalker, well, quote-unquote fix it, lower the origin duration from 30 seconds to 20 seconds and buff the damage to compensate. I don't know why they did not do that. It's crazy to me that they left it 30 seconds when our burst lasts for 20 seconds now. All they have to do is fix that. I'm sure they will fix that at some point, but why they didn't do it in the patch and why they haven't done it now in Korea is just mind-blowing to me. You have a 30-second buff that you're only ever going to get 20 seconds of use out of. It's crazy to me. And even with that change, Nightwalker would still be a lot weaker. I don't mind that. The only thing I don't like is just the mismatched duration. It just seems lazy and like they legitimately just forgot. But at this point, it's not like they forgot. They know. They know it's 30 seconds and our buffs are 20 seconds. They just haven't fixed it. Why haven't they fixed it, man? Anyways. I think that's going to be it for this week. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. As always, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I love all of you guys very, very much. Thank you to my YouTube members, Remix My Life, I'm Nufu, It's Biscuits, Ender Diz. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!